no matlab with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no matlab of why you're here. You're only here for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not to please the parents, not to mingle with friends. These things are going to happen anyway. These are like byproducts. These are byproducts of you attending the majlis. The main thing, the ruby, the diamond that we are hoping for now, or that we should be aiming for, is the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in practical terms, to listen to the Ustad, to pick up positive things to put into a person's life, and to refrain from any negative that is mentioned. This is how a person can really take benefit from this. Second thing is humility, humbleness. Sometimes what it is a person may think that I've been attending gatherings for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. There's nothing much that I can learn now. There's nothing much that I can learn now. But think about this now, that we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be unlimited. A figure cannot be put on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what about the closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then? Yeah, a person may have a strong mindset, a person may have a mindset of those people who have been attending gatherings time and time, but there's still further depths to mindsets as well. There's still further depths to knowledge. So a person can learn from everything. And really, the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, are those who even learn from animals. Let aside human beings, they obviously learn from them, but they even learn from animals. And what we would say in inanimate objects. So what about us then? What should we do? We have come to fountains of knowledge. We have come to the gatherings of knowledge. So we should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's marifah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's closeness is unlimited. So there's always stuff that we can learn and always stuff that we can apply, and there's further depths to everything. So second point is humility. Humble yourselves in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now inshallah we will begin the gathering, and first of all I would like to call forward our brother Hassan to recite some verses of the Holy Quran. Then we will have a nasheed played, after which we will have the main discourse. Then we will have the majlis of remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then followed by a dua, and then food inshallah. So I would like to call forward brother Hassan to recite verses of the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. الشمس والقمر بحسبان. والنجم والشجر يسجدان. والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان. ألا تطغوا في الميزان. وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. والأرض وضعها للأنام. فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام. والحب ذو العصف والريحان. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. خلق الإنسان الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجن من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين والمغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم. قد كفاني علم ربي من سؤالي واختياري فدعائي وابتهالي شاهد لي بافتقاري فلهذا سري أدعو في عساري وعساري أنا عبد صار فخري ذن فخري واضطراري أنا عبد صار فخري ذن فخري واضطراري قد تحققت بعجزي وخضوعي وانكساري قد كفاني علم ربي من سؤالي واختياري فدعائي وابتهالي شاهد لي بافتقاري يا إلهي ومليكي أنت تعلم كيف هالي وبما قد حل قلبي من هموم واشتغالي فتداركني بلطف منك يا مولى الموالي يا كريم الوجه غثني قبل أن يفنى اصطباري قد كفاني علم ربي من سؤالي واختياري فدعائي وابتهالي شاهد لي بافتقاري.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. By the fadl and grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have been given an opportunity to sit for a short while to remember Him, to remember His beloved, and to benefit ourselves with his utterances and his words, to benefit ourselves with the praise of the Prophet ﷺ, to benefit ourselves by encouraging one another enjoining good to one another, forbidding evil to one another, and helping one another to achieve the proximity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His good pleasures, and to help one another to distance ourselves from the displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is actually what this last day or last night, you could say, for us, for myself and yourself, is to really analyze and really seek within ourselves and really, really introspect and ask ourselves, is that this may be my last night, it may be my last day. Whether I reach Ramadan or not, that's a different matter. But if I do enter Ramadan, then what state am I entering that month in? Am I in the state in which 2 weeks ago Dr. Shahada was mentioning that the month of Sha'ban has come, and really it was to recalibrate ourselves, to do an MOT upon ourselves and to see and analyze where am I going wrong and how I can fix this so that I'm at the peak of my performance when the month of Ramadan comes. What me and you are doing, and listen carefully my dear brothers and sisters and elders, I'm including here myself first and foremost. Whenever a speaker speaks, whenever a person does an nasiha, the very first person that the nasiha should be for is the person himself. Because what is the closest thing when he utters is his own 2 ears, or her own 2 ears. So I'm reminding myself, and you brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, you're probably good, but I'm reminding myself here that have I actually done this, and am I actually ready? Because as we're mentioning, and Dr. Shalom was mentioning as well, is that really any athlete in the professional field, be it in football, cricket, snooker, badminton, American football, rugby, in Formula One, whichever field they're in, whichever high performance endurance race they're in, before the actual race, before the actual game, they warm themselves ready, they get their muscles ready, their body ready, their mind ready. They are at the level to hit their peak performance as soon as the game is about to start. For me and you, we are about to hit the month of Ramadan. Ask yourself, is me and you ready? Are we at the peak of our performance? I.e., have we really at the peak of our performance, ready to shun sin away, ready to leave sinful habits, sinful speech, sinful actions? Has that become easy for us? And has good deeds become beloved to us and easy for us to perform? Has the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala come within me and is developing and is at strongest level? Why? Because it's from that base, from that level, me and you are going to have to utilize the month of Ramadan as in the examination. It's like a 30-day gym exercise, a gym, spiritual gym that me and you have to do to develop mine and your strength called taqwa. To develop that. This gym, in this 30 days, we shouldn't be thinking, oh, can I lift 5 kg? That's just something you should have done already. Now in this gym, this 30 days, why? What is happening is that maybe you get distracted from going to the gym normally. Maybe when you're there, you look at the weights and think, I can't do it. And people are discouraging you from lifting the weights. This month, shayateens are locked up. The big devil's locked up. Now there's no distraction. You should be easily be able to lift and surpass your minimum target. You should be ready. Your muscles should be warmed up. Your body should be warmed up, ready to lift the scales of goodness and good deeds. so that it can actually elevate you higher and higher when before the month of Ramadan passes. But if me and you are at the stage where we only start, sometimes we don't even start in the first 10 days or the latter 10 days, we only start on the 27th night, that is too late and we've lost. And that is where we will fall foul of the badwa of Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam, when he said, woe and may that person be destroyed when the month of Ramadan comes and he doesn't get forgiveness. He doesn't receive forgiveness. And who is making this badwa? Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam, who is the chief angel, leader of all the angels. And who said Ameen to that dua? The leader of all the prophets and messengers, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said Ameen to that. How wretched would we be if the blessed month of Ramadan comes and we don't be forgiven? That is wretchedness. In other words, is that this is such a month that is about to come that it should easily be able to attain Allah's forgiveness. We are in such a blessed position, so I thought that what better is to mimic a great opportunity, because he alayhi salatu wasalam, on the last day of Sha'ban, which is today, he would gather the companions and he then give some nasiha regarding Ramadan. So I thought how better to actually, as Dr. Shah likes to put me on the spot, to then relay whether it's going to be Taraweeh tonight, it's not going to be Taraweeh, is it going to be this and that. Some people are in confused.com, do we do, everybody's, and then we have all the Twitter log, X log, and everybody saying yes it is, no it isn't, and so on. There's no need to argue, just be patient, news will come. So this is what the companions say, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to deliver a sermon for our benefit on the last day of Sha'ban. So I thought maybe we shall also follow that blessed sunnah of Rasulullah and mention the hadith which he used to say. So he alayhi salatu wasallam said, would gather the companions now ready, they're listening. Because remember, deen was being implemented, then deen was being made. Even sometimes the companions didn't even know what month it was until Rasulullah said, this is the month of Ramadan, this is the month of Sha'ban. So he'd gather the companions, they're all sitting attentively, and then he'd say, "O my people, a mighty month." I feel like Ustaz Shafiq now, honestly. I'm just remembering him now. May Allah bless him. We used to hear all his wonderful quotes of Jannat, and now inshallah, he's enjoying, experiencing there and the grace. So if you see a lot of 70 numbers, so be careful. It might be his fairs which is coming around, and 70 and the 70 and the 70s will be multiplying again and again. We used to forget how many 70. We used to say 70,000 hurs and 70,000 angels and 70,000 this, and it was just 1,000, and we lost count because he was a businessman. So anyway, you pay attention. I feel like Ustaz Shafiq now, so Allah bless him. So, O my people, O people, a mighty month has cast its protective shade to screen you. Look at the analogy that Rasulullah is actually giving me and you. A mighty month has been cast to what? A protective shade to screen you. That's a beautiful way of giving you the imagery of what Ramadan is. That the shade of mercy is that Ramadan has come to protect you, to shade you, give you a shade of mercy and forgiveness and emancipation from the hellfire. What a blessed way to be put on that shade. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has deliberately put that there for me and you, and He is in what? A protective shade to screen you, to give you cover. So it's not to burden you, like me and you, oh I have to fast, oh I have to give up eating and drinking, oh it's going to be difficult, oh we have to do Taraweeh, oh we have to pray. No, we're seeing it wrong. Me and you should be seeing this is a great mercy for Allah. He's actually given us this screen. He also says, a blessed month, a month in which there is a night better than 1,000 months, Laylat al-Qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made keeping the fasting this month obligatory. An observance of the night vigil, Qiyamul Layl, a voluntary action. If someone seeks to draw now the condition of if. So now it's a matter of yes, this is what we should be doing. If someone seeks to draw near to the Lord therein by setting just one example of good conduct. If somebody seeks to draw near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by setting just one good example or performs one religious obligations, that person will be exactly the same as someone who discharges 70 religious obligations during all of the months of all the other years, throughout the year. So one good deed is equivalent to 70. Now look what Rasulullah is doing to the companions. Look what he is doing by telling them, encouraging them, motivating them, that look, you want Allah's mazkur, you want Allah's rida, you do one good deed, such a blessing will become 70 times more. Now exert yourself. Exert yourself. So here, you're going in the battlefield, fight. You're going in the gym, lift. You're going on the treadmill, run. In the battle of goodness, good deeds, exert as much as possible. Don't just think, oh, no, it is only in this month you're going to get this. It's not in any other month. It's only in this month. So whatever goodness you can think of, try your best. If that thought comes, pray, pray. If that thought comes in your head, recite, recite. Don't display it. Don't say, oh no, I'll do it later. No, just do it there and then. See that goodness, because it's a mercy that has come. Nobody is thinking about food. Nobody might be thinking about friends. Nobody might be thinking about games. Nobody might be thinking about other things. Now, Allah sometimes is helping you because the first 10 days, 10 days of mercy. Mercy has come. Now the thought has come to do good. Seize it. Do that goodness. Don't wait. Just do it there and then. It is a month of patient endurance. You have to have, it's a month in which your sabr should be showing. And reward for the patient endurance is paradise. So if you have sabr, it is a month, this is where really Sama Yusuma is to stop, to actually stop you. The purpose of fast, here, let me just ask all of you, you should know this now because alhamdulillah you're all practicing the path and so on, so you should know. So what's the purpose of fast? Nabi, what's the purpose of fast? Okay, good. Gain taqwa. Okay. Brother, what's the purpose of fasting? Okay, spiritual. Bilal, what's the purpose of fasting? Gain the pleasure of Allah. I've got 3 different answers here. Okay. Brother over there, just behind his eye in the grey. What's the purpose of fasting? You are in the grey, aren't you? Unless it's different. Is it a different color? Maybe my eyesight is. You don't know? MashaAllah. You could choose one of those answers. If you're clever enough, you said, yeah, I'll say that one, it'll be okay, isn't it? Taqwa, okay, very good, very good. MashaAllah, young man. You're not young anymore, you're old now, aren't you? Yes? Old man, MashaAllah. So don't worry, I'm not going to ask for Alif Ba Ta now, okay? What's the purpose of fasting? I love the way it's make Allah happy. I love our Boltonians, our Oldham, our Nelson accents will never go away. There we go. We have to keep that accent over there, isn't it, Shuaib? Yeah? Yeah, there we go. Typical guys, honestly. Northerners, we have to have our accent there. Okay. So to make Allah happy, that's what he said, to make Allah SWT happy, which is a beautiful answer. All of you said is right answer. Right answer. If that's the case, now ask yourself, have you achieved that then? You've all said the answer, isn't it? You said the purpose was this. Did you hit the purpose when last Ramadan came? Ask yourself that question. If it's the case that no, do tawbah, it's another chance. If it's the case that yes, do you think this is it? There are more higher levels for you to achieve. Because the qurb of Allah SWT is endless. The presence of Allah SWT can be stronger. The good deeds that you perform can be more. Why have you just thought, this is it? So you keep on striving because every moment, every breath, you can get closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if somebody If somebody, this is a month of patient endurance, and whoever shows patience will be given garden of paradise. It is the month of charitable sharing, and it is the month in which the sustenance of a true believer is increased. Your rizq will also be increased, by the way. It doesn't decrease. And it's strangely amazing, isn't it? Normally we'll come from work, there's no food, but in the month of Ramadan, 100% there'll be some food there, inshallah Aziz. If not there, go to the masjid, you'll find some food there. Alhamdulillah, there's plenty of food. Sustenance is there. Food is there. You find also, what's the other sustenance? Your spiritual sustenance is increased as well. Don't just think rizq is the physical commodity that you have, but also your spiritual blessings is increased. Every night, every moment, every breath, there's such blessings in barakat and anwaras that you can achieve that no other month that you can achieve. So that's also increased. If somebody provides iftar for a meal for a person who is keeping a fast, this will result in forgiveness of his sins, and in this, so his sins will, so if you give iftar, now imagine he sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying to the companions, simple companions, so if somebody gives iftar, a meal for them to open their fast, that person will be forgiven sin, and also freedom from the fire of hell. Freedom from the fire of hell. And his emancipation from the fire of hell. The benefactor will also be granted the reward equivalent to that earned by the recipient for his generosity, but without anything he will be deducted from the reward due to the latter. But then the companion said, Ya Rasulullah, we're not rich. We can't afford to give somebody a meal. What if none of us can find to provide? What if we don't have enough money and wealth to give iftar? To give iftari to somebody, what do we do then? So he saw something amazing. Look, now obviously because they're different level companions, some are rich, some are poor, some are knowledgeable, some are simple. All types of companions are there. So some of us are here, we just about barely make our own food. We don't have enough to give to others. Some of us are here, we could feed the whole town of Bolton maybe, and we'll still be all right. We can carry on doing it, like Brother Shuaib there. So anyway, so Allah SWT will grant, now, so the companions ask, what is it? How can we do it? Can we do it? Okay. Allah SWT will grant this reward to anyone who gives now to allay their fears. He will give this reward to anyone who gives any kind or some kind of breakfast and nourishment to a person who's fasting, even if it's merely a dried date. Ek kajur bhi denge, Alhamdulillah, this will be his reward. This is the same. Even if it's a dried date, or a glass of water, a drink of water, or a cup of diluted milk, Allah wants to reward him if he just gives him this. Same thing. So now everybody can do it. Everybody can perform. In other words, that's the beauty of Rasulullah, the deen of Islam, is that it accommodates every single individual, from the rich to the poor, to the affluent, to the needy, to the ones who are completely knowledgeable, to the ones who are completely simple, who are ignorant and simple. Doesn't matter. It's for all. To the king, to the layman, it's for all. This is where now you heard this famous hadith. This is where it's come from as well. Is that it is a month, the beginning of which is mercy, the middle of which is forgiveness, and the last part of which is deliverance from the fire of hell. These are why I'm giving you the hadith which Prophet actually related to the companions on the last day of Sha'ban. This is what he's telling the companions. So, he's now said the first 10 days is mercy, second 10 days are forgiveness, third, last 10 days is emancipation from fire of hell. So, if a slave holder, now imagine, you've heard this, so companions are hearing this, and look at the way in which Rasulullah now actually is beautifully trying to tell and convey the message to those who are affluent, who are wealthy, and those who are workers, those who have actually people who are laborers. So here, listen to this. So if a slave holder lightens the burden borne by his slave in this month, anybody is working. Not just now, obviously in modern day slavery is sort of exists, so most is gone. So for me and you to think, slave, nobody has any slaves. Okay, but what do you have in Pakistan? Nokers, you have workers, isn't it? They're doing your work. Maybe they're looking after your house. Maybe they're looking after your chores. Maybe they're driving. Maybe they're actually going to the fields and tend to the fields. Okay, forget Pakistan, brother Kes, we're in UK. What about here? Okay, are you an employer? Do you have workers? If that's the case, if you can know that this is the month in which they're fasting, have that understanding, show some compassion, lighten the load for them. If they're not performing the peak, don't shout and scream. Don't start actually saying, get lost, honestly, you're going to be sacked soon and so on. That's the worst thing you can do. Lighten the load here. So if a slaveholder lightens the burden borne by the slave in this month, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive him and grant him freedom from the fire of hell. So it's encouraging, Rasul is encouraging people, show compassion and mercy in this month. If you're a person who's working in the fields, a laborer, if you're a person who has employees, make it easy for them. Have that understanding. Lighten and reduce that load, so then you will be saved from the fire of hell. During the course of this month, so whilst in this month, he alayhi now exerting them, telling them you should do this. You must therefore cultivate 4 practices and repeat them frequently. 4 practices. 4 practices and repeat them frequently. 2 of those practices by which you will earn Allah's pleasure. So how many practices? How many? 4. 2 of them you have to do what? 2 of those practices you will have. 2 of those practices are that which you will earn Allah's pleasure, while the other 2 are practices that you simply cannot afford to do without. So 2 deeds if you do, 2 practice, 2 amals if you do, will earn Allah's pleasure. So you want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you do these 2. And the other 2 you cannot not do without. You have to do. Make sure you don't ever forget to do. Just keep on doing. What is it? Is that as for the first 2 practices by which I will earn Allah's pleasure, they are testifying that there is no God but Allah. Shahada. Shahadatan la ilaha illallah. And begging him for forgiveness. Now you might think, Brother Kes, what does that mean? And I'll say Allah and His Messenger know best. That testifying, what does testifying mean? This is the whole point I'm going to now explain here. When we say Shahada, Shahada means what? In Arabic, we say Shahada. What does it mean, Zain? What does it mean, Shahada? Declare. What else does it mean? If you're making declaration, what does that mean? Abdul Rahman said witness. So you are witnessing. So what does that? If you're witnessing, you are witnessing, aren't you? To witness, yeah? You're a witness. You're a shahid. What we call in Arabic, you're a shahid. That's why you're doing the shahada. It's a declaration, but a statement, a witness statement you're making, isn't it? So shahada, why is the shahada? Shahada la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah? Shahada is this. Ashhadu la ilaha. Ashhadu, I bear witness. I bear witness. I declare. I testify. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu rasuluh. Okay? That's the shahada. So you are a shahid. Here, he alayhi says that there are 2 practices. This is why he's Jawamil Kalam. That his speech was concise, but the meaning was so vast. So he is shahadatan la ilaha illallah. You are a shahid. He's saying that you need to practice these 2. If you do these 2 things, what? Do the shahada and also ask for forgiveness. Shahadatan la ilaha illallah is that it is so comprehensive what Rasulullah is saying here, is that you're a shahid. What is a shahid? That there is truly no God is worthy of worship except for Allah, and Rasulullah is His messenger. Here this shahada is basically saying your whole of your Islam. What I mean by that, you are saying there is no purpose, there is no love, there is no deity worthy of worship. What is my purpose? Have I made money my purpose? Have I made wealth my purpose? Have I made women my purpose? Have I made all these other things purpose? No, it should be Allah SWT. You are a shahid, you made a statement. You are now standing up for that, otherwise you are not a reliable witness. If you go to the court and you say you're a witness, You have made a statement, you have to now show and claim that you are true to that word. So you have to live that witness statement that you've actually made. So if you say Shahada and La ilaha illallah, that there is no true, nobody worthy of worship for Allah, illallah. So no love, no purpose, no objective which is more worthy and mighty than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your life should be now showing that. You should be now demonstrating that. You should be now exemplifying that in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, in your nerves. Everything of you should be now showing that La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. My body, my mind, my heart, my nerves, my spirit is showing, declaring and being witness that really, look at my purpose. My purpose is Allah's on His pleasure. Look at my wants and desires only for Allah's on His pleasure. Any goodness is going to take me to the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My actions, my amals, my deeds, my thinking, my heart, my akhlaq, my conduct is all saying that Allah is truly the greatest and He deserves to be worshipped, and I am showing that He deserves His conduct, His commands is more greater than what I want. I am now demonstrating and showing with my body, with my mind, with my heart and my nerves that He is Allah. And that Rasulullah is the one to be followed. In order to see how to achieve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, la ilaha illallah, my heart is La ilaha illallah. There's nothing other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My body is telling me La ilaha illallah. There is nothing which is greater. My arms, my limbs, everything that is doing is La ilaha illallah. My heart is La ilaha illallah. My mind is La ilaha illallah. I don't want anything in my mind other than what Allah and His Messenger ordered me to do. And how do I do that? Is the next part of the Shahada. Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that I bear witness, I am testifying, I am witnessing, I'm telling you, I am the witness that in order to achieve La ilaha illallah, how to actually achieve that in your life, you have to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the one who exemplified what is La ilaha illallah. There is no La ilaha illallah without Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I.e., that is not a valid claim unless you can show and demonstrate that it is through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has shown me. We wouldn't know Ramadan if it wasn't for Rasulullah. We wouldn't know the Quran if it wasn't for the Prophet. We wouldn't know Salah if it wasn't for the Prophet. We wouldn't know what is Zakat if it wasn't for the Prophet. We wouldn't know what Hajj is if it wasn't for the Prophet. We wouldn't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if it wasn't for the Prophet. We wouldn't know what Jannah is if it wasn't for the Prophet. We wouldn't know what Hellfire is if it wasn't for the Prophet. We wouldn't know the purpose of life and existence if it wasn't for the Prophet. So if you are making this statement and you are saying that you are the Shahid, you are the witnesser, you are making a statement of La ilaha illallah, this is what Rasulullah is saying, is that you must practice this in this month, demonstrate and show that you are a reliable witness and show to the world, the Muslims, the non-Muslims, that La ilaha illallah, my dear brothers and sisters of humanity, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there's no one worthy of worship, no one worthy of actually following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What statement are you making? What classification of a witness are you being? And in this month, Rasulullah is saying is what? In this month, make it such that you practice it such, the kalima la ilaha illallah, that it can be seen in you from body, from mind, from heart, from nafs, from spirit, that it is truly that you are manifesting la ilaha illallah. You're manifesting this through what? Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And not only that, once this is such a comprehensive meaning, not only that, is that in doing so, Ya Rabbal Alameen, I'm trying to show, I'm trying my best with my body, with my mind, with my heart, and my nafs and my spirit. I am trying to show, I'm trying to become a good witness, a good shahid. I'm trying to exemplify and show Ya Rabbal Alameen that I am a decent servant. I am truly trying my best, but I fall short, and I am definitely falling short, and I am trying my best. So then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, what the second practice? Then seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will fall short. We are falling short. We can never perform to the level that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demands us to perform. If Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying is that Subhanaka ma as Ya Rabbal Alameen, you are Subhan, you are so far, I have not been able to worship you as you deserve to worship. I have not been able to love you as you deserve to be loved. I have not been able to follow you as you deserve to be followed. I have not able to do you remember as you deserve to be remembered. Who is saying it? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying it. And you think me and you are really perfect? Na'uzubillah min dhalik. We are definitely falling short. And hence why he sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that the other practice or my ummati practice in this month. So remember 4 practices they said. They said, Shahada and la ilaha illallah. Perform this. And I give you the whole summarized meaning of what that means. The Shahada and la ilaha illallah is such a complete meaning that in that word it has such a deep meaning that you have to become la ilaha illallah. Become that witness, that statement that you're making, and show, exemplify that even Bob, Jeff, Jenny, whoever they are, Ravindra, whoever it is, Billy, Bob, Jenny, Ravindra, Patel, Bashir, Nazir, whoever they are, they can see that this is what Islam is. He is really, really telling me this is what Islam is, and they get drawn towards that. That is real da'wah. Not with the words, but through actions. And that is why he was known as the walking, talking Quran. He ﷺ was a walking, talking Quran because the kalam of Allah SWT was in him, i.e. that he manifested and showed the Quran. Like what you'll be doing, you'll be making now a necessary thing that every single Ramadan, which is a blessing, Allah, and I don't discourage you that you should recite. Recite the Quran. Many of you were saying, put in targets that I want to do 1 full Quran in month of Ramadan. So you say like at least 1 juz, 1 para a day you're going to recite. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Some of you might want to do 2 khatam of the Quran or 3. It depends. Alhamdulillah, it's good. That's just recitation. Recitation, qara'a, will always just qara'a. But with the verse when it said, when it was revealed and said, iqra, here it wasn't just read. The Mufassirin have said it's not just iqra, bima'ana just read, qara'a, just to read. Because if you're reading, you're hearing the recitation, the Qur'ans are reading. So if you were to read and the benefit lies just reading, the whole world should be changing. Isn't it? The whole world should be changing. Everybody should be changing because all the household are reading. But here, this is where me and you have got it wrong. What you've just said, what does it mean? I don't know. I've just been reading because I want what? I want reward. Nakia. But what me and you are understanding, Shahada and La ilaha illallah, what Rasulullah is saying is that what he's saying is that you're reading, but if you're sinning, all that goodness that you got is all gone to vain. It's lost. It's finished off. It's like you got a sack of good deeds, a sack of goodness, a sack, a money sack, and it's loaded with wealth, but unfortunately there's a hole in it. Not just 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 7 holes. And you're filling it up, and it's just falling away as you're walking. Filling up, where's the money going? Why? It's because you've not stopped the sin. مَنْ لَمْ يَدَعْ قَوْلَ الزُّورِ وَعَمَلَ بِهِ فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةً أَنْ يَدَعَ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ أَوْ كَمَا قَالَ Islam, is that whomsoever cannot leave sinful action and sinful speech, Allah SWT has no need for him to leave his eating and drinking. Me and you have taken reciting the Quran, good deeds, yes, very good. Taraweeh, good. But Salah, Nawafil, good. You're doing that good, but you're still sinning. If you're sinning, you got holes in your bags and it's just dissipating, it's going away. So if I'm reciting the Quran, just recite the Quran, you don't know the meaning of it, what you're reciting, what good is that? The Quran was not sent for you to recite. Hudan linnas. It's supposed to guide, it's supposed to be your navigation, compass of your life to navigate you through this life. It's supposed to be a manual of how to live your life. Not to read, but to read the manual, but then to understand and then to apply it. There's no point. Something's gone wrong. A clock goes wrong. The air condition goes wrong. Something in the car goes wrong. It says this is it. Your engine level is low. Your battery level is gone, is low. Let's say the water is saying, oh, you need to replenish the water. Okay. What did it say? On the community, say, turn to the manual book, car manual book. See how to replenish it. When do me and you ever turn back to the Quran to find answers for my life? When do me and you ever turn to the Quran and say, what is going through with me? What does the Quran tell me? Or do we ask ChatGTP? Sorry, Google, you've lost your fame now. It's not Google anymore, it's ChatGTP now, isn't it? Or Gemini, but nobody likes calling Gemini, it sounds weird. So ChatGTP is Mufti now, Grand Mufti of even Mufti Google and Twitter. The Grand Mufti is now ChatGTP and he rules. So unless, obviously we're getting from the Far East, the deep, what is it called? Deep skin, was it? I'm not sure, deep, whatever it is. As our brother Saif, what's it called? Deep Seek, is it? Deep Seek. So here, DP will come taking ChatGTP away, okay? There's all these PPs I can only hear. So anyway, the Grand Mufti ChatGTP is our now navigator. What does he say? ChatGTP, how do I get this? I'm told, yeah, you should do this. But the good thing about Grand Mufti ChatGTP, do you know what? It tells you, if you ask anything Islamic, for example, what is the ruling of this? ChatGPT will say, at the end he'll say, but remember, I am just a AI. Consult a true scholar to find out what this answer really is. It's very good. It's really honest as well. Gram of the ChatGTP also tells you, make sure you consult a scholar. I'm only just telling you, but I'm not 100% reliable. So make sure you consult a scholar. Do we do that? No. We are just self-taught, self-made, and self-directed people. We just do that. What does the Quran say, whatever problem I'm going through? We never consult because we're just busy reciting. Oh, I've got a target. I've got to get this 30 juz out. Really, you know what? I tell you something, brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm saying this, is that put your hands up if you read the Quran from Alif Lam Mim to Surah Fatih to all the Surah Nas in English and you've understood it. Who's read it from beginning to the end? Put your hand up. In this room, I'm just, our sisters, only you can see, and you know, it is such a shame that imagine we cannot complain now. You know, if we're, now, I'm picking a show today, I don't know why, but maybe it's because he beat me in football yesterday, so I'm getting my own back. Anyway, yeah, and there's some mighty injury, and they injured me badly yesterday, but I won't say anything. Anyhow, Brother Shuaib is that imagine, it's not 40 years ago, Brother Shuaib, when we can complain. Yes, that's old, he's 56, but we won't leave it there. So, it's not like 50 or 40 years ago when we're complaining that we can't find anything in English. There's no translation. It's all Urdu, as we say, Urdu. Oh, it's all in Arabic. We don't know if there's nothing in English, is there? So we then had to send somebody to go and study, learn Arabic, go and study abroad, come back and translate for us. Yeah, you translate. But he's too busy earning wealth, so we lost a translator as well. So there's no translator. Oh, we paid for his studies, now he's not even telling us how to translate now. So we waited. Now there are ample of books, translation in the Quran in English, word for word in English. You can study it to your heart content, but we're not bothered. How can it be we are 30, 40, 50, and we still have not learned and understood and read the Quran in English from Surah Fatiha all the way to An-Nas? And it's supposed to be a manual for our life. We can read the manual for A to Z. When we got a taxi badge, we can memorize all the roads. We can memorize the laws for our degrees. We can memorize other things. All these lawyers are looking at me. Brother Kes, please don't say that, okay? We can memorize all the periodic tables and everything and so on, all the different formulas, all the different things. But we don't know a little bit what Allah SWT is asking me and telling me to follow and for me to get guidance on. So why I suggest you do, my dear brothers and elders and sisters, sorry, there's no elders here, my dear brothers and youngsters, is that what you do, Shaf, don't worry, you're still young. Yeah. So what I want you to do is that, you see, people get agitated and say, I'm not old. Don't look at me, just because I have a white beard doesn't look I'm old, okay? So, so what I'm saying here is that why I suggest you do this year, if it's a habit, is that I'm not saying do the whole of the Quran. At least whatever portion you read, get the tarjuma. Get the tarjuma, the translation, and read what's said. In there you'll find something different. Oh, is this what Allah SWT is saying? What does that mean? And then try to really contemplate what that means. Try to see how it applies to me. And the beautiful thing is that I've done it in my class as well, is that if you want to know how wonderful Allah SWT is, open any part of the Quran, you'll get guidance. Any part of the Quran, open any page, just read maybe that one page, there'll be guidance there for you. Any part, I can guarantee there'll be guidance there for you. If you have an open heart, and if you have a want, He will tell you something there. That's a beautiful thing. That's a glory of Allah SWT and His book. But we never do that. This is the blessed month in which revealed the Quran, and me and you are so disassociated from the Quran. I've just asked how many of us, youngsters to elders, how many of us have actually read the Quran from Alim Surah Fatiha to the to Nas, at least once in their life. Only 2-3 people put their hands up. So at least maybe this Ramadan, instead of read, you know, people like to read, they read the sports section of the newspapers. They read all these different things. Nowadays, you know, gamers are not gamers. What it is, our youngsters, which is very, apparently it's the same as watching football, but anyway, listen to this, is that they're not playing the game, they're watching hours and hours of other guys playing the game and their commentary on how to play that game. And that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. One is that I'm enjoying, yeah, how do I do that? But these youngsters nowadays are watching other people playing that game, and they are commentating on that other people playing that game, and they're watching that for hours and hours and on end. Oh yeah, are you seeing? Yeah, look what he did there. But he did that, and he did that. Okay. And apparently, I can't win this argument. Apparently, that's the same as you watching football and the commentator is commentating. I don't see the relation. My son will actually tries to tell me that, but I'm not getting it. I'm too old. I'm not understanding this. It's not the same. So here is that we are such people that we want others to do it for us. Oh, ulamas will tell me how to do, how he'll tell me a verse of the Quran. No, you do it yourself. It's available in English, read it. If your English is not your first language, if Urdu is your language, read it in Urdu. Russian is translated in Russian. If it's Chinese, Japanese, it's Japanese. All languages there for you to have. It's been translated. Read the translation. Try to get understanding. If there's something you don't understand, then ask. Is that ask the people who know if you don't know. Ask the scholars and they'll tell you. Don't put your own interpretation there, ask them. But the things which is easy, straightforward to understand, take it. So going back, the manifestation, how will you manifest La ilaha illallah is if you don't even know what He wants from you. If you don't even know what He wants from you. How will you manifest La ilaha illallah if you don't know what your purpose should be? How will you manifest La ilaha illallah if you don't know how to achieve that purpose? How will you know La ilaha illallah if you don't know who Allah is? Ask that and you'll find. So here, see how Jamal Kalam is that he, alayhi salam, there are 4 practices. There are 4 practices that you need to do in the month of Ramadan, he's saying. He's saying in the last day of Shaban, like this day, when he gathered companions, tell them, 2 of these practices by which will earn you Allah's pleasure. If you want Allah's pleasure, do these 2. What are those 2? Is practicing La ilaha illallah, and I've just explained what that means to nearest effect. And then asking forgiveness. That in that practice of trying to show with the body, mind, heart and spirit and nerves, you will fall short. So ask forgiveness. And seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, begging Him for His forgiveness. Not just seeking, begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His forgiveness. And there are 2 practices that you cannot do without, you must do. Those 2 are to gain Allah's pleasure, and these 2 you must do without fail. And what is that? You think, Brother Caswell, if he alayhi is saying something, it means there's something there that means you need to take heed of. What is it? He is saying what? That as for the 2 that you simply cannot afford to do without, they are imploring. Now imploring means complete from the heart, every inch of the heart, and begging from every soul of your body, every ounce of your body, and asking and begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what? That He grants you the garden of paradise. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-Jannah. Ya Allah, grant me paradise. You implore Allah SWT to grant you paradise, and then what else? And then وَنَعُوذُ بِكَ مِن نَارٍ. And safeguarding, salvation, refuge from the fire of hell. You need to ask this no matter what. That's why Allah, after the Taraweeh, Hafiz, it's not, don't do it Ratta style. Allahumma jinna min nar, Allahumma jinna min nar, Allahumma jannat wa na'udhu min nar, Allahumma jinna min nar. That's just Ratta. Allah says that, my servant, are you really wanting this? Really mean it. When you say implore, you are from every ounce of your body, you are asking and begging Allah, Ya Rabbal Alameen, grant me paradise, save me from the fire of hell. Grant me paradise, save me from the fire of hell. Because it is the month in which what? In another hadith, this is at the beginning of Ramadan. Like every month we said, remember we said Shaban is the MOT station? Every year, once in the year, the whole of the Jannah gets redecorated. Whole of the Jannah, all the paradise are redecorated. So he said is that, this narration by Ibn Abbas, that he said the garden of paradise will surely be refurnished and redecorated from year to year with the advent of the month of Ramadan, at the beginning of Ramadan. That's when it gets started to it's all redecorated, rejuvenated, refurnished, made even more beautiful. And then what happens is that when the beginning of Ramadan, that's why in the first 10 days of tender mercy, there's a beautiful wind that comes and rattles and wakes and shows that wind is called Masira. This beautiful wind comes. As soon as the first night of the month of Ramadan commences, a whirlwind called Masira is blown beneath the heavenly throne from the Arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The leaves of the trees of Garden of Paradise will be set into state of commotion. It's like they go into commotion bliss because of this beautiful breeze, which is actually moving around. And the rings of the leaves of the doors are shaken or rattled. This will give rise to the rustling and tinkling. Look at the beautiful description the Rasul is giving. You could literally imagine and see what it's like. The words that he's using is that the leaves of the trees of Garden of Paradise will set in a commotion, and the rings of the leaves of the doors will shake and rattle. This will give rise to the rustling and tinkling of sound. Such a beautiful sound that will come far more beautiful, listen to this, far more beautiful than any listeners has ever heard ringing in the ears before. It's this, when you hear that normally when the wind will blow on the leaves, some people, they like that, they fall asleep because they're hearing, and it's so soothing, isn't it? He says that when this wind will blow on the leaves of the paradise, it's such a sound, such a soothing, is that no other ears, is so beautiful that no other ears have ever heard this thing sound before. Then what happens? I will miss the who's because there's too many youngsters here. Then here, then the other part, in confirmation of these words that this is what happened, it is at this day, in this very day, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does, He orders, O Ridwan, open the gates of paradise. Who's Ridwan? He is the chief angel of paradise. He says, O Ridwan, open the gates of paradise. O Malik, who is the chief angel of hellfire, is that, O Malik, shut the doors of the blazing fire of hell to keep those members of the community of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who are keeping fast. To honor them, shut the door. They're fasting. O Ridwan, open the door. The Ummati of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is fasting. Open the door of paradise. That's how much love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has for me and you, because of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and because of the month of Ramadan. Then what does it say? Is that, O Jibreel, go down to the earth below, shackle the defiant and rebellious devils, the big shayateens. Now some people say that, but the case, and we hear this every year. We heard that the shaitan is locked up, so how come we're still sinning? Why are we still sinning? You see, because we put all the blame on shaitan, that's what it is, isn't it? So these are the big shayateen, the really, really rebellious, the chief, big Iblis and his chief commanders and foes, they're the ones who are actually locked up. The little shayateen, which is me and you, they're still here. They're still here, and they're being given instruction now. They know that the boss is going to be locked up now, the commanders in general have been locked up, but they have been given instruction how to fool you and deceive you. They've been given a 30-day plan. Hey, month of mercy is coming. Make sure, make him feel a little bit good at the beginning. But then what happens is that make sure he gets lazy after 10 days. Make sure he starts thinking, oh, it's normal. He doesn't feel any different. Start missing his salah. Start missing the taraweeh. Start becoming lazy. Start watching the movies. Start watching the series. That's it. You've done good. Whatever your weaknesses are, I am telling you, my dear brothers and sisters, is that in the month of Ramadan, now you can analyze yourself, is that you thought shaitan was the one who's influencing you. Now you can see, is it your own nafs which is actually doing it? Whatever your weaknesses are, it will show. It will show in that month. That is the thing that you need to work on. You should have worked on in Sha'ban and Rajab, but now it's too late. Now you have to work before Ramadan ends. Work on that. Rectify that. And you will feel it. Maybe not in the first 10 days of mercy, because the mercy of Allah. So if salah was your weakness, because everybody else is praying, because of the community, and you will feel in the morning, if you even look in the morning, you'll see this is a Ramadan morning. You can feel because people have been praying and worshipping. There's an aura about it. There's an ambience about it. You can feel it. Not just telling you about the smelling of the kebabs and things which have been cooked, but there's something else you'll feel and you'll actually see. There's an aura to it. If you walk, there's a different feeling. That's the blessing of the month of Ramadan. That's the first 10 days. But you will see why it's forgiveness, because then people start weakening. Because the mercy in the next 10 days is forgiveness. So that extra mercy that was there, it's not so much there now. But you need to use that mercy to get into forgiveness. And you need to use that forgiveness to get expiation from the fire of hell. So exert yourself. So here is that then Allah SWT tells Jibreel, lock up and chain him up, then cast him into deepest depths of the ocean, so that they cannot meddle with the community of my beloved friend Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and spoil the experience of fasting. So he has done a great favor to lock the devil up. For me and you, our fast does not get wrecked. But there's one enemy you need to also look, which doesn't get locked up. If Allah sometimes is taking care of the external enemy, me and you need to take care of the internal enemy. And that is called the nafs. You need to lock him up as well. And that's why, now I'm going to end here, and you're thinking, may Allah bless Brother Shafiq, don't worry, we're not going to go to the numbers now. That is why, is that this month of Ramadan, now for us, when me and you, some of our coughing, some of our falling ill, we go to the doctor, get some a prescription for our illness, isn't it? Yeah? We get a prescription for our illness, whatever illness, or maybe we've hurt ourselves, maybe we're ill, maybe we're better, and also may Allah actually grant shifa to our honorable Ustaz Abdul Rahim, who's actually in hospital. Please do remember him in your prayers, that unfortunately he's been taken unwell and he's been diagnosed with pneumonia, so Allah bless him and grant him a quick shifa kamila, especially by the barakah and the blessing of the month of Ramadan that is coming. So here is that when you fall ill and it's not going away, then you get a cure. You go to doctors, they give you a prescription, and they say, take this prescription, and that will get through the barakah and blessing of this. Obviously, Allah is the one who heals, but through the barakah of the prescription, you get recovery. Ramadan, now understand this, like Dr. Shalom has mentioned, Ramadan, what is it? It's the 30-day divine prescription that has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To what? To cure you for the illnesses of body, mind, heart, nafs, and spirit. It's to cure you. But me and you are not utilizing that prescription properly. We're not taking the medication properly. That is what the hadith is saying. مَنْ لَمْ يَدَعْ قَوْلَ زُورِ وَعْمَلَ بِهِ. If you can't leave sinful action, sinful speech, it means that you are not understood what that prescription is for. You're not utilizing the right way. If you want to know that divine prescription was there, why 30 days? Well, because it is going to have such an effect that if you start, it will now, I'll just zoom this forward, hold on here, is that if you start this, your level of taqwa will increase. You need this fuel of taqwa, like the brother was saying, is to develop taqwa. Is that Here, the taqwa, you need that energy, you need that force, you need that spiritual dynamic force, taqwa, in you, so that after the month of Ramadan finishes, for 11 months you have to do battle shaitan now. How much juice, as you will say, have you got in your tank? How much taqwa have you developed? So that is why, my dear brothers and elders, is that I'm sure you've been, you need to choose and you need to fast, not like anyone. For example, if you've been fasting, stopping from eating and drinking, and from marital relation for those who are married, from dawn to dusk, and just praying and maybe going for Taraweeh, you've been fasting at this level for all your life, then this is what you've been doing all your life. And that is why after Ramadan goes, you fall back again. Now, let me ask you, and I say this normally a lot of time to everybody, let me just ask you, is that a baby is given what? Nasaif will know. Baby is given milk, baby milk, formulated milk, breast milk. It's not given a steak, is it? It's not, is it? It's not given a steak, it's not given burgers, it's not given chip, even though Saif probably want to, but anyway, it's not given that. It's not given that. Baby is given formulated milk so that it can digest and slowly develop to nourish and grow. Then we start giving baby food. We call it baby food because it was a baby. So it's mashed up, diced up food because it hasn't got any teeth yet. It's not there, so it can digest the food. Once it goes in, we give them more solid food. Then slowly we change the portion size as the child grows older to until you become an adult. Now you're eating full solid foods and different types of foods and so on and so on. So what we've done is that from baby to an adult, we adapted the food, changed the food, and even the amount of food that the person has so that it can get nourished and grow due to its age and development. How is it that me and you have been fasting the same way when we were 5, 10, 15, and now we reach 30, 40, 50 years, the same way as a baby has been fasting? Is your spirit still a baby? Even though you're 50 now, you're still a baby? Or are you going to start to make this grow? Are you going to make your spirit become more active and strong and enable it to actually really battle with shaitan and nafs? Or are you going to let it be a baby and be weakened? Now, another knowledge for you to understand is that, now for you all to think, is that, here, I have to go back here, is that the nourishment for the spirit is what? Connection to the divine in its heavenly food. Everything that is heavenly is the spirit, the ruh is light. So anything which is made out of light and nur, that is nourishment. So heavenly food, for example, salah, dhikr, tilawat al-Quran, good deeds, connection, sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is its nourishment. This is its food. Mine and your food, the spirit's food. Now, for you to understand how weak we are, imagine if you go one day without whole food or drink, one day, how does the physical body feel? Brothers, how do you feel? Sisters, how do you feel? Go on, how will you feel, Abdul Rahman? Weak, okay. 2 days, how do you feel, Nabil? Without food, drink? Eh? Drained. Zain, this is going to be difficult now, 3 days. Can you calculate it? No, because you're quite thinking now you can still carry on, isn't it? You've got the muscles and everything. So much muscles and things. You're not going to feel anything, isn't it? But, you know, a normal person saying, not doing nazar, but not doing nazar. Otherwise, Gulzar's going to hit me as well. I'm not going to do nazar on her, but I've got to be careful. I know, Zain. Sorry, Zain. Yeah, go on. How would you feel 3 days without solid food and drink? Oh, look at that. People say, I'll be dead, but him, intense struggle. Because he's got the muscles to actually tolerate it. That's why, mashallah. Shuaib, how would you feel 4 days without food and drink? Yeah, you'll be like, oh, crippled, dying. Where's the wheelchair? Let me just die. I bet that's what I'm going to do. So now, 4 days without food, you're more or less going to be dying. Now, 5 days without solid food. Now, brother, I come back to you. Now, redeem yourself in the grave. 5 days without food, how will you be? Oh no, what did you pick on me? He's saying. So how will you feel 5 days without solid food and drink? No, you Shafiq, I'm talking to the brother here. Brother Shafiq want to feel young again, so that's why when I mentioned Munda, he said, oh yes, that's me he's referring to. So young man, not you, Brother Shafiq, young man over there, yeah? How would you feel? No. This brother here, this brother there, youngster here. I know you're all young, honestly, so I'm very, very careful, honestly. God, how would you feel 5 days? Don't go red on me now, okay? Just whatever you do, don't go red, right? Exhausted. Huh? Oh, I'm going to say, you're going to finish. He said in Punjabi, but I understand that. He said, it's like this. So, brother, 6 days without solid food and drink. Yeah. 70, you more or less dead. Now, if on the 6th day I go to that person and say, can you lift your arms? He's going, no, he can't lift your arm. Can you move? No, I can't move. Can you do this? Now, if I just get the sheets underneath the bed, if I just roll it, he'll fall on the floor. He's got no energy to defend. If I go, hey, and if I try to hit, he can't defend. If the spirit is, if you are now, that's the physical body, how you can become. Similarly, if the nourishment for the spirit is spiritual food, i.e. heavenly food, salah, if you go 1 day without salah, you're weak. 2 days without salah, you're complete. 3 days without salah, 4 days without salah, 5 days, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year without salah, and then you're saying, you're getting worried and surprised, why is it that I can't fight shaitan? It's because you're so weak that shaitan doesn't even need to be there. He just needs to blow from the other side of the world and you flow like the wind, like the leaves flow. That's how weak we are. We can't fend off because why? What nourishment is means you giving to our spirit? If we're not praying, if we're not doing our Zikr, if we're not doing amal salihah, if we're not connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look, it's the spirit is lost, the spirit is starved. That is the real problem me and you have, that we are completely lost and starved because we are not connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're disconnected. We're not feeding and nourishing it with good deeds, we are giving it evil and sin. We are starving ourself, our spirit. And that is the real problem that me and you are going through. So this blessed Ramadan, reconnect with Him. Re-establish your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rekindle your love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Re-establish those deeds that will nourish you. Start doing as much good as possible wherever you are, whenever you are, do good. And if you're saying, Brother Kes, like for example, you've been sent through WhatsApp, there are all these amals you can do. You can do this amal, that amal, that amal. And you say, Brother Kes, it's just too hard. You know, I can do level 1 maybe. Level 2 is a bit difficult, but I can try. Level 2 is to abstain from sins from the tongue, the eyes, and the feet. Level 3 is to abstain from all the sins. Which level you want to do, it's up to you. Speak to somebody before going today. If you're not assigned the level of your fast, speak to someone assigned a level and practice that. But if, where was I? Is that the amals are not there, are they? No, they're not. So if all these different amals you're supposed to do, you're saying, but the case, I can do the prayer, I can just about do the tarawih, but after that it's too difficult, I can't do it. It's too hard. Then what I want you to do is this. Our beloved Master Sayyidina Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh, they said is that you got smart deeds as well. Smart fast and smart deeds. Let's be clever now, okay? Because we know we're getting too old or we're too lazy or we're too tired, etc., etc. Let's be smart now, okay? How can we actually occupy ourselves then? Say nothing. Do nothing. At this moment in time. I've got no energy. I can't do anything. Okay, be quiet then. Practice long periods of silence. That is how your sabr will develop. One, the benefit of the fact that you've got no energy anyway, so just keep quiet. It's easy to keep quiet. You're tired as it is. So only utter until there's fragrance. You know, when you're a fasting person, there's a bad odor that comes. Nobody wants to say, oh, it smells really bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that smell. It's more dear to Him than musk. Now, if you keep that mouth closed imagine musk is coming out. That's how your words should be when you utter with someone, when you're fasting. If you do want to speak the words with fragrance of goodness. Otherwise remain quiet. So practice long periods of silence. Another thing that you can do is that one is fragrant words, then fragrant actions. I.e., whenever you meet somebody in Mother, whether it's Bob, Jeff, Bill, Leslie, Bashir, Nazir, Ravindra or Patel, whoever it is, David, whoever it is, if it's your neighbor, if it's your colleague, if it's your mom, if it's your dad, if it's your children, if it's your spouse, whoever it is, when you meet them, be in a such state that whenever you leave, that they're in a more joyous and better temperament. Their heart is filled with joy and happiness. When you met them, when you leave, they're like this. Before meeting them, they were not so happy. But after they meet you, love, happiness, joy and comfort is in their hearts, and they feel that when they met you, and they don't want you to leave. They say, stay a little bit longer. You know, that is what good akhlaq is. Good akhlaq is that good conduct and character is that that person wants to stay because why? They feel the goodness from you. Practice this. No salah, nothing like this, just this. Mean that after your fard, nafil prayer I'm talking about. No, you can't do enough of prayer? Fine, do this. Remain silent, long period of silence. After the 5 daily prayers and Taraweeh, practice good conduct and character. The next thing what you can do is, you say, Brother Kash, what is a smart deed? Is that every hour on your watch, on your phone, put a timer on, reminder on. I believe that Android also allows you to do this as well. So iPhone, you can put it on reminder, but Android phones you can also do. I think they can do it as well. Or an alarm on your watch. Every hour, put an alarm on or a reminder on, and remind you that be in the presence of Allah. Not when you're sleeping, but when you're awake. Is that be in the presence of Allah. So in that 1 hour, when you wake, set it up, ready. It's going to remind you. Now you bring yourself in the presence. Allah will see me, He's hearing me, He's with me. And then next hour, do the same. Allah will see me, hear me, with me. Next hour, do the same. Do this for 30 days. These 3 deeds alone will have such an impact, and I'm going to use the word, it will transform you. These are smart deeds, these are transformative deeds. They will transform your life if you practice for 30 days. Just these 3 deeds alone. Practice that and you'll notice the difference. And on top of that, if you say, Brother Kes, is there anything I'll do? Only one of the nafil I'll say to you is do your salat at tasbih. If you know how to do that, then ask our honorable brothers, I'll tell you later, inshallah. Because these are going to be a weight in the scale. So with all of these amals, with all of these, you can get the information from our website, or you can actually contact the brothers on Prophetic Path. They'll give you these. And even they can get the physical copies upstairs or somewhere around here. You can get them as well before you leave. You can take that as well. So I've taken a little bit more than what I was supposed to do. So may Allah forgive me. But Allah will reward you for your time and effort. This is the last night for me and you of Sha'ban, and last day of Sha'ban. The blessed month of Ramadan is approaching us, is coming to us tomorrow. If we're alive, alhamdulillah. If we die, then make sure it's the best death. It's the best day, it's the best night of our life that we spend. May Allah bless you all, enable you all to achieve, myself and yourself to achieve the purpose of Ramadan and fasting, and achieve His forgiveness and pleasure in this life as well as the akhirah. Subhanaka wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Jazakallah khair to Imam Gais for delivering such a comprehensive speech and nasiha on how we can benefit from this month, what it means to benefit from this blessed month. So now the question stands: who wants to be full of mercy in this month? Who wants to be saved from the badwa of Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam. Imagine the archangel Sayyidina Jibreel doing this dua, that those people who do not achieve forgiveness in this month, then who wants to save themselves from this? For those who want to do this, there's a framework that has been mentioned. We can speak to you. If you come to us, we can teach you how to do this in a step-by-step way. We may be going through certain things in our life now, or there may be corners that we need to overcome. There may be hurdles that we need to climb over. Approach us. Come tell us about this, and we can give you advice on how to overcome this. So we can reach this blessed month. We can reach this blessed month and attain taqwa. Attain a level of God consciousness that we would never have achieved prior to this. We could transform our relationships and transform our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Approach the gathering, inshallah. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, how much ever time you have, we will try to tailor it to that, inshallah. And for those of you who want to know about a framework for life that we have, a framework that you can transform yourself in the blessed month and outside the blessed month of Ramadan, how you can better your relationships with people, your family, your friends, your colleagues, how you can better your relationship with the Prophet ﷺ, how you can better your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, come and approach us. Come and approach us, and we will inshallah as well give you a way out for the professional, for the laborer, for the worker, for the housewife, for every person on every facet of life. We will try to do this for you and tailor it for you as well, inshallah. Come and approach me again, and we will sit down with yourselves, inshallah. And for those who have any physical ailments and they want to put their name down, again, come and approach Brother Hamza after the majlis, and you can put your name down, inshallah. We have also on the 13th to the 16th of June, we have an Eid Ventureland at Gulliver's World, and this is tailored for families, and it spans across 3 days, 2 nights, and one incredible experience. For those who are inquiring about what's included, it's a 2-day theme park access. There's themed accommodation. There will be cinematic experiences, evening gatherings and campfires, breakfast included. All this for the price of £50 per person per night, inshallah. And really, it is in these types of settings that really families change, where we can take our kids to these types of gatherings and these types of experiences that stay with them forever. Then, and this is how we instill the mindset of Islam and the mindset that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to achieve. Now, inshallah, we will have the gathering of Zikr. So if everyone can stand up, come forward, and let some blood flow through to the legs. And if we can ask those at the back to come forward, and inshallah, you may now be seated, inshallah. If everyone could be seated, and if everyone can remain quiet as well, please. If everyone can remain quiet, because we are still in the main masjid area. Now if everyone could take a seat, please. Jazakallah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء. وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يعوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما مولاي صل وسلم دائما على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا مولاي صل وسلم دائما على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل حول من الأهوال مقتحمين لكل حول من الأهوال مقتحمين فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا ليس الهادي إلا هو. أنت الهادي أنت الحق ليس الهادي إلا هو. حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله. النور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا محمد رسول الله. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور. 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 سبحان الله 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 صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم 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 أستغفر الله أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil anbiya'i wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, Malikul Akhirah. We're in the last days and last nights of Sha'ban, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We don't know if we'll reach Ramadan, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Please, we ask you that you enable us to reach the blessed month of Ramadan and help us to achieve the purpose and maqsad of Ramadan and fasting, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And help us to decorate ourselves in our inner self and outer self, Ya Rabbil Alameen, with the goodness and barakat and fiyuzat and the lights of Ramadan. And help us to rid of the evil of ourselves and outer selves, Ya Rabbil Alameen, with the evil of ourselves and outer selves, Ya Rabbil Alameen, and darkness that exists because of our sins and our sinful actions, sinful speech, sinful amal, sinful akhlaq, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Please rid of ourselves and help to tazkiyah of these, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Malikul Akhirah, we're not deserving of this blessed occasion, blessed month, Ya Rabbil Alameen. But you know that we are weak and we are full of disease and we are ill, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And by your grace and mercy, you have cultivated and made this month as a way in which we can replenish, recultivate, re-energize and become a true servant of yours by the blessing of this blessed month, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us to achieve that purpose, help us to achieve the goal of Ramadan, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Akhirah, help us to connect with you, to connect with the Quran, your words, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us to connect with Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and help us to distance away from our sins of people, sinful places, sinful action, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Rahim, we ask you that help us to draw to those people who remember you, who worship you for your sake and your pleasure, and to go away from those people and those places who actually do the opposite, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Rahim, Malikul Akhirah, enable us to make you our purpose of our life, your pleasure, our purpose of our life, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Not dunya, not women, not mal, not status, not fame, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, grant us sincerity in our actions and our deeds. Grant us the goodness of this world and the goodness of Akhirah. For those brothers and sisters who are ill, Ya Rabbil Alameen, especially our brother Abdul Rahim, Ya Rabbil Alameen, please grant him shifa al-kamil, Ya Rabbil Alameen. He is unwell, Ya Rabbil Alameen, your friend of yours, your beloved servant of yours, Ya Rabbil Alameen, please. He is such a gentle person in character and conduct and speech, Ya Rabbil Alameen, please. You shower your mercy and gentleness upon him and rid of this illness, Ya Rabbil Alameen, and grant him full recovery, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Akhirah, for all those brothers and sisters who are ill in hospital, who have any spiritual disease or physical disease, whatever illness they have, Ya Rabbi, please grant us all shifa al-kamila, Ya Rabbil Alameen. For those brothers and sisters who are in problems and difficulties, financial problem, material problem, relationship problem, have got a case upon their heads, Ya Rabbil Alameen, please enable, remove that difficulty and settle ease, Ya Rabbi, settle the matter for them and make it easy for them, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Akhirah, our brothers and sisters who are actually away doing the work of your deen, Ya Rabbil Alameen, in this country, nationally, internationally, Ya Rabbil Alameen, in Pakistan, in Denmark, in El Salvador, in America, wherever they are, Ya Rabbi, please grant them barakah and blessing and khairat and goodness of this and the goodness of Akhir, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Bless our beloved teacher Shahada Bagh, Ya Rabbil Alameen, with long life and good life and healthy life, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Illuminate them even more, Ya Rabbil Alameen, with the goodness of this world, goodness of Akhirah, and your marifah and your qurbaniness of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Al Akhirah, bless all of ourselves, Ya Rabbil Alameen, with the goodness of this world, the goodness of Akhirah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. All of us, Ya Rabbil Alameen, we are your sinful servants, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Rahim, we are full, head to toe, we're full of sin, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We're embarrassed that we keep on sinning, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We're embarrassed to come towards Ya Rabbil Alameen because of the fact that we do it again and again and again. And Shaitan keeps on hammering us that don't go. But Ya Rabbil Alameen, where else can we turn to other than you, Ya Rabbil Alameen? You are the forgiver of sins. You are the coverer of faults. You are Sattar al-Ghuyub. Ya Allah, forgive us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, have mercy upon us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, give us the resolve and strength to rid ourselves of these evil habits, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us to become victorious over these habits, Ya Rabbil Alameen, before death. Ya Allah, if these are last days and last months of our life, enable them into the best months of our life, Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, enable us to be in prostration, in sujood, in salah, in dhikr, in tilawat of the Quran, in a good state that when you take our soul and spirit, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And help us to safeguard ourselves from being in evil state, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Al-Akhirah, we ask you for Jannat al-Firdaus, the house of a paradise, and we seek refuge for the fire of hell, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, our deeds are such that it's deserving of hellfire, but you are Allah, you are Rahman, your mercy, Shahid Rafi Rabbal Alamin. Please grant us your forgiveness, grant us your love, grant us your nearness, grant us your qurb, Ya Rabbal Alameen, grant us your everlasting paradise, Ya Rabbal Alamin, your pleasure in this world as well as the akhirah. Wa sallallahu ala khairil qihi Muhammadin wa